WTF Wednesday. It's good to see you again. My facial hair you see is growing back after my recent Halloween experiences, shall we say. It was a great time. It put me a little behind on making my videos because of the amount of time it took to edit the video, and that also as well as my last Me Monday with the end of James Brooks's story. A lot of time, so this video is going up just a little bit late, and hopefully we'll be back on track starting this Friday. But in the meantime, here we go with our first segment of the night. We're going to do our vocabulary words for the week. The first vocabulary word is actually just a letter, and if you see your teens or kids chatting or texting and talking about E, they're referring to ecstasy, which is also medically known as MDMA, or methylene dioxyl and methylamphetamine. Basically, this drug is a psychedelic amphetamine, which really has gained a lot of popularity over the last 20 years because it creates a sensation of comfort, empathy, and connection with other people. It's a feel-good, touchy-feely kind of drug that people tend to take and go to concerts or have spiritual experiences with, or go to raves or parties and things like that. And it typically comes in pill form, like some of the ones you see here. Now, there was also some stuff going around at Halloween showing different pictures of ecstasy pills that kind of look like candy, so to make people aware that these may be in the candy stash of your children. But yeah, so if you see somebody referring to E or talking about Molly, these are different terms for ecstasy, and maybe something to watch out for with your kids. Our next word of the night is echo chamber. Echo chamber. This is a person who completely and obsequiously agrees with everything you say, or if you're in a meeting, your boss says, typically the bobbleheads types, but yeah, don't have any strong feelings of their own on a topic and will not push back. These are echo chambers. Expiration chug. That's what you do when you notice that the milk carton in your fridge is on its last day, and you just start chugging it to make sure that it doesn't go to waste. Expiration chug. Here's a favorite of mine, execubabble. This is executive communication in broad, vague terms that seems to rise above normal speech. And these are characterized by an overuse of executive-friendly words like paradigm, robust, and drill down. Those on the receiving end of execubabble typically are no better informed at the end of the conversation than they were at the start. I like this one too. Electile dysfunction. That is the inability for a person to become excited, put forward by any party in an election cycle. Electile dysfunction. Email tennis. It's the inane back and forth of emails in an endless stream without coming to any useful outcome. Now, I usually will go 3 emails into one of these before I start making phone calls, personally. And the last word is a-hole. That's a Canadian a-hole, just so you know. Alright, so for the second segment I want to talk about the latest iteration of the IRS type scams. Now, I think probably by now we've all heard about the strong arm type scammer phone calls people get supposedly from the IRS demanding money instantly, or else they will be facing various consequences, including arrest, seizure of property or money, things like that, unless you pay up immediately. And oftentimes this frightens people into capitulating. Now, typically, this is not just a random call people get. It's usually based on information that scammers already have about you. So they probably have bought a list of names, social security numbers, things like that. So they have a little bit of information, enough to convince you that they are who they say they are. Now, the phone conversation part of this is fairly old news. It's gone on for several years. They either get you to send money or provide more information, enough so that they can in turn file false claims as you and steal your refunds. But what's going on now is, with the fact that a lot of form letters and things like that are available online that the IRS may send to people, these scammers have taken these and begun to falsify them and use them in physical phishing attacks rather than electronic or phone call. So you may get looking letter form with letterhead, the letter having the proper or at least official looking logos, etc. on them, and basically it's a form that they're telling you need to fill out or else, and if you fill it out and send it back, then they have all the information they need to again steal your money. So you have to be very careful about the any time somebody represents themselves in writing, verbally over the phone, in electronic format as coming from the IRS, you should immediately be suspicious. So if you do get a call or receive any kind of thing like that, what you should do is contact the IRS at this number here. Some of the things you should know: the IRS will never ask for payment using any kind of wire transfer or prepaid cards or anything like that. These are hard to track. These are what the scammers prefer. They will also never demand immediate payment over the phone. As a matter of fact, they won't even call you unless they've already contacted you by mail. And again, even if they have, you can call the IRS at this number again. You can call the IRS and verify that it's factual. And they will also never strong arm you, threatening to bring in police or any other authorities to attempt to arrest you or anything like that. They won't. There's no strong arming going on here. Now, of course, I'm of the opinion that the IRS should not exist whatsoever. There's other methods that they can use that will eliminate all of the red tape. I'm sure all my CPA friends and tax attorneys and things like that, because it'll probably eliminate their business, but they should just go to a flat tax. I think it's the most fair way of portioning out taxes, but that's my opinion. Hate me for it if you want, flame me in the comments if you want. I'm allowed my opinion. Anyway, this segment was to warn you, inform you, make you aware that the scam exists, and that look out for yourself. And in our final segment, this should be fun. We're going to be talking about rude place names or streets around the world. English-speaking countries may have names for places that may not be rude to them, but may appear so to us. Anyway, it's good fun and it's funny stuff. This may get a little strong for some of you. If it does, I'm sorry, but I think it's all freaking hysterical. So tonight we're going to start out with something very mild. Toe Jam Hill. Now, Toe Jam Hill is the highest point on Bainbridge Isle in Washington. It's 425 feet high. By the way, just so you know, every one of these places actually exist. I did cross-reference them and verify that they exist, because I didn't want to just be putting stuff out there that's been photoshopped or whatever. So this is all real. The next place we're going to be visiting is Bitchfield. Bitchfield is a small village in the South Kesteven region of Lincolnshire. and it consists of two groups of buildings connected by a dark lane. The two groups of building are known as Bitchfield and Lower Bitchfield, and it is approximately 6 miles southeast of Grantham. Here's an interesting store. Now again, I verified that this does exist. Hand Job Nail Salon. Well, I say it exists. It doesn't exist anymore. It has indeed closed. But it was a functioning salon on Newport Road in Costa Mesa, California. Here's a nice one. Cockburn. The city of Cockburn is in the southern suburbs of Perth, Australia. About 5 miles south of Fremantle and 15 miles south of Perth's business center. Cockburn. This one's kind of entertaining. Crotch Crescent. It's a road in Oxford. Basically, it's like a little half circle off of a main road. Crotch Crescent. Next, we come to the island of Dildo. Dildo is an unincorporated city on the island of Labrador in Newfoundland, Canada, and it is located on the southeastern arm of Trinity Bay. Penistone. Penistone is a market town and civil parish in the metropolitan borough of Barnsley in South Yorkshire. Just northwest of Harrisburg, Arkansas, we have Wiener Cutoff Road. In Queens, New York, between 188th Street and Utopia Parkway, we have Arlene Fuchs Katz Drive. In the civil parish of Milland, in the Chichester district of West Sussex, we have the hamlet of Tiddy Hill. It's a small village close to a Roman way station or Mancio on the Chichester to Silchester Way. Tiddy Hill. And finally, last but not least, we come to the town of Fuching, Austria. Fuching is a village in the municipality of Tarsdorf in the Innviertel region of western Upper Austria. The village is 21 miles north of Salzburg and about 2.5 miles east of the German border. Now, despite only having a population of about 104 in the 2005 census, it is believed that the town of Fuching was founded in the 6th century by a noble by the name of Focko, F-O-C-K-O. The existence of the village was documented for the first time in 1070, and 20 years later, the lord of the place was Adalpertus de Fuchingen. Now, the spelling of the place has evolved over the years. It is first recorded with the spelling of Fuchingen in 1070, Fuching in 1303, Fuching in 1532, and in the modern spelling, Fuching in the 18th century. The ending ing is an old Germanic suffix meaning the people of, indicating the people are attached to the root word, in this instance, Fuching, or Focko's people. There you go. Did not make any of that up, cross-referenced it, checked it, make sure I'm giving you the full facts. Doesn't make it any less funny. Alright y'all, thanks for joining me on this WTF Wednesday. Glad to be back with you. Hopefully I'll get back on schedule on Friday, but I appreciate you coming. And y'all have a great evening, and we'll chat with you later. Good night.